A very sad night here in Flint as a family is mourning the loss of a 7-year-old member of their family. Now take a look at this photo. This is 7-year-old Zaniah Burns. Police say she was shot in the head and killed earlier this evening.
Police say the vehicle was traveling down the street here. It hopped up onto the lawn, drove up this way. You can see the track marks that it left behind.
Right now I'm behind a home right off of Sanilac Road again in Kingston. I want you to take a look at the damage that we are currently dealing with. Now you can see this is part of a shed right here.
We called the Best Buy here in Saginaw and asked them about this 3D printer. This was an effort to revitalize and feed the community right here in Flint. They say Blanchard Road here between Lincoln and Crawford has to be redesigned, and that new construction plan is currently waiting approval. Kayaking is definitely not a winter sport here in Michigan, but it is today in Gladwin because of all of this excessive flooding. Again, we know that police are still looking for those 2 suspects in that deadly shooting tonight. We're still working to get details on their descriptions, and as of right now, there's no word on the victim's identity. They say there's actually a natural gas line underneath the road here. Now, you've seen beer flights, but how about an ice cream flight? What do you do if someone climbs up on your porch, grabs your packages, and runs away?
I almost cannot look away from this guy doing oh, he is eating fire right now. This man is eating fire.
But hold your horses. This is where it gets its name, the hot air balloon.
This is the moment I've been waiting for all morning, so I'm going to hand this over.
But until then, it looks like we're just going to have to make the most of all of this fresh powder. Reporting in Tuscola County, Kate Nadolski, WNEM TV5.
He grabbed me like this, "You're coming with me," and then I just was in shock. I'm like, this cannot be happening.
11-year-old Allison Ickoff takes us back to Friday evening when she and her sister, along with their 2 friends, were attacked by a 22-year-old man right in front of this speedway in Millington.
My sister's friend just kept on kicking him, scratching him, and everything. I just kept on hitting him too.
Allison says one of the girls had hot coffee and threw it at the attacker before making their getaway. What was the first thing that went through your mind when that gentleman grabbed you like that?
I thought it was like a test or something, but I'm like, this is actually real, and it just scared me.
Allison says once they got away, they ran right here to the Millington Inn.
We just said, someone tried to approach us, please help, someone help, and they just comfort us.
Her dad, Aaron Ickoff, made it to the scene, and his reaction, like most parents would be,
rage. As a father, rage. You don't want anything like that to ever, and you never expect it to happen.
He says he's thankful that both of his daughters and their friends are safe. Aaron says he hopes the suspect gets the help he needs.
She was just a baby. She was just a baby.
Lee Adams has spent most of the day on her front porch in Flint with her family, heartbroken and distraught. She's struggling to come to terms with the death of her 18-year-old daughter.
My daughter was the life of everybody's party. She was a little sister, a daughter.
Corinne Adams was found lying inside a home with a gunshot wound on West York Street last Thursday. The home had been shot up, the suspect or suspects taking Corinne's life before she even had the chance to truly live it.
Whoever did it, I pray to God for you, because it was wrong. She ain't deserve that.
Lee is no stranger to loss. In 2009, she had to bury her son, Corinne's brother. She says she knows this pain will never go away.
She always the one that comes and gets me out of bed and makes me eat, goes to the store for me. So it feels like you're really lost.
The relentless pain from that moment of violence that Lee says happens far too often. Now this Friday, the family has to bury their baby, a girl who loved hair and makeup, a girl who always was there when her family needed her, and a girl who was robbed of a full and happy life.
I just want justice for Corinne and many other people's children that had to go like that.
Scary. Weird. Ready to move. Go. Get out.
the Curtis family ready to make a break for it after hearing that their next door neighbor, a man in his 20s, was bitten by his venomous pet cobra.
I'd like to put up a privacy fence now all the way up.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It happened early Sunday at the victim's home in Pinconning Township. Police say the man opened the cage and the monocled cobra, like this one right here, fell out and hit the floor. At that point, the victim then moved, and that's when the cobra bit his leg. The victim called 911 and was rushed to the hospital in Bay City and then airlifted to a hospital in Detroit. Police say anti-venom was flown in from Florida to treat the man, and he's in serious condition. In the meantime, his neighbors, Sherry and Woody Curtis, are both left on edge about what's living just feet away.
We're told that he had several exotic animals inside of his house. How does that make you feel living right next door?
Very scary. I mean, that's dangerous. What if they got loose?
Now, Bay County Sheriff Troy Cunningham tells me that the cobra is contained and it's currently still inside this house right behind me. But authorities say they have no idea what they're going to do with it.
I don't even know if I want to walk out the door.
If I could go back, the number one thing I would do is use my time better. Make better use of my time, you know. Just enjoyed more of it because time doesn't go on forever.
It's a hard lesson Sarah McCurdy has learned firsthand. At just 36 years old, she thought she'd have a lot more time.
It's hard. Every day is hard.
After a 6-year battle with ovarian cancer, she's in hospice care and she spends her days in a hospital bed placed in the middle of her living room. She knows that she doesn't have much time left.
It's gotten too far for me to keep fighting it anymore.
Time left with her precious family.
My biggest fear is leaving.
She has 3 beautiful children, ages 9, 10, and 19.
I don't want to leave my kids behind.
She knows her mother and fiance will take care of them, but she's still trying to make peace with all the little moments she'll miss, like graduations and weddings. But there's something else weighing heavy on Sarah's heart as she enters the final stages of her life.
Are you worried about expenses?
Yes. We aren't prepared.
She's worried about paying for her own funeral. Sarah lost her job as a nurse when she got sick. She has no life insurance, and end-of-life costs are a burden she doesn't want to leave behind for her family. She's hoping someone can help.
I just hope that people have a kind heart and might consider, helping my family out that way. They've already got a lot to deal with, and I don't want them to have to worry about money.